The human mind is the most powerful and most vulnerable tool we possess. It's where every thought, decision, and feeling takes shape. But here's the catch. Our perceptions of reality aren't always accurate. What we see, hear, and feel is filtered, twisted, and colored by our mental state. And sometimes by outside forces who want to influence us. Today, we're going deep into how the mind works, how our mental state changes what we perceive, and how those in power, from marketers to political operatives, exploit this to shape our thoughts, our actions, and even our beliefs. The human mind isn't just a brain, it's a dynamic system. Think of it like a computer, where the brain is the hardware and the mind is the software. But unlike a computer, the software rewrites itself with every new experience. Inside your head, billions of neurons fire and connect through synapses, creating vast networks. These connections change over time. This is neuroplasticity. Learn a new skill and you literally reshape your brain. Live in constant stress and you rewire yourself for fear and hypervigilance. The mind's core processes include perception, the way we take in information through our senses; attention, how we filter the flood of sensory data to focus on what matters most; memory, storing and retrieving information from short-term working memory and long-term archives; reasoning and problem-solving, the logical and creative processes that help us act; emotion and motivation, feelings that influence and sometimes hijack our decisions. And here's where it gets tricky. These processes don't operate in a vacuum. They're constantly shaped by our mental state: calm, stressed, joyful, fearful. Each one changes how we see the world. Imagine two people watching the same news story. One is calm and open-minded. The other is stressed and fearful. They'll walk away with completely different interpretations, not because the facts changed, but because their mental state acted like a lens, bending the light of reality. In stress or fear, the amygdala takes over. Threat detection goes into overdrive. You might interpret a neutral tone of voice as hostile or a simple coincidence as a threat. In joy or curiosity, the brain processes information more broadly, sparking creativity and flexibility in thinking. In depression, the senses themselves can dull. The world can appear muted, slower, and even distorted. Mental states don't just affect how we process incoming information, they change what we remember and how we decide. Fear makes us remember threats vividly, but narrows our thinking. Calmness helps us see the big picture. We often assume our senses are like cameras and microphones, objective recorders of reality. But perception isn't passive, it's active. The brain constructs a reality from sensory data, and it can be nudged in any direction. For example, a simple color filter in an image can change the mood we feel. Background music tempo can subtly push us to shop faster or slower. Repeated headlines can feel truer over time, even if they're false. This is the illusory truth effect. Our mental state makes us more or less vulnerable to these nudges. A fearful person will focus on danger-related cues. Someone in a hopeful state will latch on to opportunity-related cues. And this is where manipulation steps in. Because if you can control someone's state of mind, you can influence their perception of reality itself. Manipulation sounds like a dirty word, but it's really just influence. And influence can be used for good or bad. Therapists, coaches, and educators use influence to help people grow. But advertisers, political strategists, and con artists often use it to exploit. Here are some common techniques. Social proof. Everyone's doing it. Used to encourage healthy behavior or dangerous conformity. Scarcity. Only two left. Can create urgency for something helpful or panic buying junk. Gaslighting. Twisting reality to make someone doubt themselves. Rarely ethical, often abusive. Foot in the door. Small request first, bigger one later. Great for building good habits or for manipulation in sales. The key is intent. The same tool can either empower you or enslave you. If manipulation is a tool, social media is an entire weapons factory. These platforms are engineered to capture your attention, hijack your emotions, and keep you hooked. Variable rewards. Likes, comments, and notifications trigger dopamine bursts, just like slot machines. Algorithmic echo chambers. Your feed shows you only what confirms your existing beliefs, deepening biases. Emotional contagion. Anger and fear spread faster than calm or joy because they grab attention. Misinformation loops. False stories get more engagement than nuanced truth, shaping public opinion. Used in warfare, this becomes psyops, psychological operations to divide populations, spread propaganda, and destabilize societies without firing a single bullet. The good news? You can protect your mental autonomy. Mindfulness and reflection. Recognize your mental state before reacting. Information diet. Seek diverse sources, even those you disagree with. Digital boundaries. Limit time in algorithm-driven spaces. Critical thinking. Ask, who benefits from me believing this? The mind is powerful, but it's also programmable. If you don't decide what gets installed, someone else will. Your mind builds your reality. Every sight, every sound, every word you take in leaves a fingerprint on your thoughts. The question is, are you shaping your mind or letting others shape it for you? Remember, everyone, stay curious, keep learning, and you always win with Hattie Hats.